This situation will only get worse. So, guys, the Tren de Agua gang is now robbing tourists downtown Manhattan, more like the Times Square area, Rockefeller area, and by Radio City Music Hall. That entire area, little kids, part of the Tren de Agua, which they're calling themselves, I think, Little Devils or Little Diablos or Los Diablos, whatever it is, they're robbing people or tourists in these areas. Now, they're probably there long enough to know who a tourist is and who's not a tourist. I mean, you can look at a person and go, that's a New Yorker. That guy definitely doesn't belong here. So they're robbing these people of phone, cameras, wallets, things of that nature. Nothing has gone sideways yet. People are quick to give up their shit because that sort of makes the common sense thing to do. If you're like, listen, you try to rob me, we're getting into a fist fight. However that goes down, it's going to go down badly. But that's me. But for everybody else who's not me, give up your shit. So if you happen to be coming to New York City in the next couple of months, especially being that Christmas season's around the corner, and these guys are stepping up their game, and I even think they're going to get into pickpocketing, which they could definitely make a ton of money pickpocketing during holiday seasons. Now, pickpocketing season is holiday season, starting, if I'm not mistaken, right after November 1st into the New Year's. So pickpocketing season's up, and these people are probably going to start their shit with everything else that they're doing. They are also heavily into the sex trafficking. If you go to Queens, if I'm not mistaken, Jackson Heights, they have a whole thing over there called Sweetheart Row or Sweetheart Lane or Avenue, some nonsense like that. And this is where all of the ladies of the night are hanging out during the day, doing their business. So this gang, guys, is going unchecked. The FBI, the NYPD will sit there and go, we are investigating every... Get the fuck back. You should have hard-hitting dudes breaking down these doors, going into these, I guess, brothels, if you will, and pulling these girls out who are, in fact, a lot of them are migrant women or illegal immigrant females who are doing this shit against their will. And yet the NYPD is tap dancing and hemming and hawing instead of dropping the hammer. Now, they're probably not going to do anything until after the election, which, again, not everything needs to be political. Some things, guys, you got to go and get it. And going to get it looks like knocking down some doors, cracking a few skulls, and rescuing women and kids out of this situation. Now, the reason why they're probably not doing it is because of all the other shit that Eric Adams himself has going on. And you notice how the Eric Adams situation is dead. They're not talking about his scandal anymore. He got rid of everybody, or rather, everybody stepped down. So, with the Tren de Agua guys, they are robbing people, and robbery and violence normally follows it. Now, they haven't really beaten anybody. I think for the most part, they held people up, and people, handed over their items. So, there hasn't been any beatings yet, but it will. They will run into the wrong person, and that's going to look like shit. They already beat up 2 cops earlier this year in some nonsense. And the way they were beating up those cops was some straight coward shit. They were like running in there, hitting the cop, then running back, running in a circle, staying back, wait till the cop fell again, run over, hit him with some more. I'm like, what kind of shit is that? Like, it was the worst vaginaism fighting I've ever seen in my entire life. It was like a vaginosis fight. If I ever had to see one, or someone said, what's a vaginosis fight? I would point to that. Because it was the worst kind of cowardice fighting I've ever seen. Nonetheless, they are growing downtown. Their numbers are huge. You could throw a rock right now and hit 8 of them because they're little and they stand right next to each other like lemmings. It's weird. Nonetheless, it is a problem and it's going to get worse. So people ask me, should I visit New York? One side of me will tell you yes. Visit New York. There's a lot to see here. There's a lot to eat. There's a lot to do. The other side of me, as a prepper and just being a man, I would say no, because there's so much crime here and they are robbing tourists and cops are not able to do much. If you get mugged or robbed, NYPD will be able to do nothing. They will do nothing for you. They will get nothing back. It would be a waste of time to report the robbery. But you report it to keep the numbers up, and then you do a video on how you got robbed to keep those numbers up in case NYPD tries to be cute and down their numbers, so it looks like the numbers are lower than they actually are. Which, whatever the numbers they're reporting, is absolutely higher. People that are robbing the tourists are as young as 9 and 11 years old. Robbing them in Central Park, Times Square, Radio City Music Hall, and Rockefeller Center. These are the areas that they're concentrating on. Again, Central Park is a bit away from it, so they're traveling down to there to do their nonsense. The Times Square incidents or arrests are up to 517 arrests this year alone, and we're only in October. Let's just say November for argument's sake. So 517 arrests, 517 arrests are migrants throughout the city. 298 or 289 are in Times Square alone, in the Times Square area, again, which is Times Square, Radio City Music Hall, Rockefeller Center, which are right next to each other, and then Central Park. So all of this is going down, and again, cops are not doing much about it. So again, guys, this is going to get worse. I could see next year these numbers skyrocketing because as more Venezuelan gang members are coming here, they have more kids doing their dirty work. Kids are kicked loose a lot faster and not charged because of some bill they came out with that allowed kids up to the age of 18 to not be charged with certain crimes or have their crimes downgraded, if you will, because they're under the age of 18. It used to be 16 and you were tried as an adult. Now here in New York City, New York State, it's 18, and after 18 you're tried as an adult. So up until 18 years old, you could commit whatever crime, robbery, stealing, and they can either kick it down or kick you loose, and they will not charge you as an adult, which puts you in family court, which 9 times out of 10 it gets kicked loose once it's in family court. Now anything above robbery like murder or assault, you're not tried as a kid, but nonetheless it's a serious crime and they hold you in jail if the assault is serious. It just can't be any assault like they tap you on the chest and they go, oh my God, they assaulted me. No, it has to be an assault. You have to have like a closed eyeball, can't see anymore, you lost consciousness, that kind of assault. Something more egregious, not something like a shove or anything like that. So there is grades of it. Nonetheless, the laws are made to let these kids go whenever they get into trouble. So this, in turn, is going to have them recruit more kids, more robberies. These kids are going to get kicked loose faster, and they're going to commit more crimes because they are ultimately untouchable. Other than that, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.